Hello, and welcome to the review of ISHURA, Episode 2. My name is Sluggish, and in this video, I will be discussing the differences between this episode of the anime versus its source material. I will show you 9 different clips from this episode, and after each clip, I will discuss what was left out from this anime, along with some explanations to what happened in the clip and to clear up some confusion that you may have had. With that said, let's start with the first clip.
到着前に殺し合いなんぞされたらタレン様に合わせる顔がない。ラナ殿、ワイバーンとは別口の相手が来ているようですが。何？足を止める！抵抗すれば殺せ！罪人を渡せ！罪人目当ての野党だ。ワイバーンに野党とは八方塞がりだな。
Now, in this first clip, we saw a group of raiders attack the caravan. However, it didn't make complete sense. Why would a group of raiders attack a caravan that's about to be attacked by a group of ravens? It's insanity. However, the sound slicer had a theory, and unfortunately, we did not see that theory in this episode. So, immediately after, the sound slicer says, "First ravens, not raiders, today's not our day." He follows that up by saying, or more precisely, this must be the group's objective. His theory is that this group of raiders must have taken something from this caravan in their last stop. They then took that item, brought it over to the nest of the ravens. This allowed the ravens to pick up the scent of the caravan, which gave them the opportunity to track them down. Now, the theory is that the raiders are using the ravens to create chaos and to make it easier for them to steal the cargo. After hearing this theory, Lana, the Moon Tempest, is not convinced. She questions it, asking, why would the raiders be so stupid? Don't they know that if they attack the caravan, they could also be in danger of being attacked by the ravens? However, the sound slicer disagrees with that. He mentions that all the raiders have to do is kill a few people and leave their corpses on the ground. The ravens are savage. They're hungry. They're going to go first after the corpses and not the living people because it's much easier for them. This theory gives us the answers to why or how this situation even happened in the first place. And I really wish they had added this into the episode to give more clarity. Now, we just saw Reniji give an order to the second squad. That order was to go around the hill. Why? Why would he possibly order that? Well, we find out that there exists a possibility of the raiders having a second caravan or a second carriage around the hill and wait so they can load up all their stolen goods to make a clean getaway. Reniji does not want to leave survivors, so he orders the second squad to go around the hill to block them off. In that same moment, He also gives orders to the 4th, 5th, and 7th squad to prepare for battle against the feral flock. In this episode, however, Reniji had ordered the entire army to participate in the battle. But in the novel, he had only ordered 3 squads, because then he believed that all he needed was 3 squads. He believed that this feral flock were just wild beasts. They were not intelligent enough to fight. He also calls out a few people, or should I say a few Wyverns by name, pointing out their mistakes. He commands them to fall back to cure their injuries, and pretty much, how should I say, shames them in front of everybody, telling them, how can you possibly have gotten hurt in that little skirmish against the raiders? In that moment, we get a clear view, or should I say, we get a clear idea of what type of leader Reniji is. He isn't just calling orders. He's keeping an entire view in his mind of the battlefield. He knows who gets injured. He knows how they get injured. And he knows how to deal out punishment for those that just aren't paying attention in the middle of a fight. Right before Reniji and the army of Wyverns start their fight, there is actually a missing dialogue that happens between Reniji and Lana the Moon Tempest. In that dialogue, Reniji asks Lana what took her so long. That in the meantime, while she was away, he had taken care of 7 other raider groups, all by himself with his army. Lana then says that she was busy, she was searching for people to bring back to the city, and that she brought back 2 individuals, which even Reniji would be surprised at. However, Reniji says those guys are wimps, they're not worth much, which pisses off the Sound Slicer. And a possible fight between Reniji and the Sound Slicer could have happened, but Lana the Moon Tempest interfered and calmed everything down. Again, would have loved to see that animated. I would have loved to see the confrontation, because we get a better understanding of their characters.
レグネジーの熱術だ。
レグネジー殿はワイバーンですか？
ああ、ワイバーンの群れには必ず統率個体がいる。レグネジーがそれだ。奴らが守っている以上、新興国の防衛は万全だ。ワイバーンを航空戦力として運用した都市は歴史上どこにもない。
While the fight outside was ongoing, the Plagic asks if Reniji was a Wyvern. Lana answers yes. Why? Why do you want to know that? And the Plagic answers that he was a little bit, not confused, but he was wondering why Reniji, his position, why was it in a close order formation with his exact position always hidden? It didn't make much sense, because if he was a human, he wouldn't be in the sky. He wouldn't be surrounded by Wyverns. So the only possible option was that Reniji was a Wyvern himself. Lana then asks the Plagic how could he possibly have known that if he did not look outside. His answer is, I can tell by the sound. In the novel, we find out that he had flowers growing on his roots, and those flowers were moving side to side, indicating that they had the ability to pick up sound, maybe vibrations in the air. So we get a little insight into what possible abilities the Plagic could have had.
だったら暗殺だね。
可能か。
第17教のエリアちゃんの部隊は？
密偵は潜入させている。奴自身は別の案件を調査中だ。
There's nothing like an assassination plot in the anime. You know, the schemes, the mind games that can happen. In this scene, we saw them mention someone by name called Elna. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. Elna she happens to be the 17th minister, and she has a squad that's in charge of assassinations and espionage. So her and her squad are in charge of infiltrating the enemy city, looking for information, and possibly opportunities to assassinate the people in charge. We also find out in the novel that Elna just so happens to be away on another top secret mission that no one knows about, but it has as much as importance as assassinating the leader of the Principality of Lithia.
なら明日から3人の昼夜半日交代だ。
かしこまりました。ですが、ふすべは本当に手負いなのでしょうか。
裏付けを取った上での遠征だ。普段は空を待っている奴も今は巣にこもっている。好機だ。人の打ち手を恐れるか、ふすべのビケオン。その魂は地に落ちたぞ。
答えろ。討伐軍の貴様らだけか。答えぬならば焼かず苦しめ殺す。
何が貴様の身に起こったふすべ。
When the commander and the 6th minister of this army is asked how can he be so sure that the dragon is injured, he tells his attendant that he has information, or he received information from his scouts, that the dragon's left eye is clouded, his left foreleg is gone, a long spear stuck in his gut, and that his tail was decomposing. Now, I found it strange that he had all this information, yet he still acted surprised when he saw the dragon all injured. This information was most likely left out of the anime in order to make it more surprising when the dragon pops up. You know, if we were given this information ahead of time, we may not have been as surprised to see the scene of the dragon all bloodied with wounds all over his body. But because this information was left out, we were more shocked to see what he looked like. In the first episode of ISHURA, we saw a magical ability called World Arts, or should I say Word Arts. We saw that some people had the ability to move objects with just words. And now, in this scene, we saw a second type of World Arts, Craft Arts. Now, this scene completely reminded me of Full Metal Alchemist, how they had the ability to create weapons out of nowhere. And I thought it was a very interesting ability to have, and it makes me more curious as to what other type of arts exist in this world. But I thought I would just share the name of this ability, because as far as I know, we did not hear the name of this type of art in the episode.
どこに行くつもりだ。
ナガン大迷宮。
滅んだ都市だ。何をする。
欲しいものがあるんだ。
アルス。
I began this video with a quote, and I'm going to end this video with the same quote. As the Sixth Minister is watching Alnus fly away, in the novel, it ends with a quote from the Sixth Minister. The quote is, "Evil is when you betray your own beliefs." The anime does not fully explain this quote, but in the novel, we find out that the Sixth Minister is very greedy, he's very prideful. He wants to chase after fame and glory in his own way without accepting help from other people. It is his own belief, and he believes that if you betray your own beliefs, then you are committing evil. That is his definition of evil. So everybody has their own opinion and definition of what evil is. For some people, the Sixth Minister taking his entire squad to fight a dragon and having them all end up dead, that in itself is evil. But for the Sixth Minister, if he didn't do that, and he didn't take the opportunity to fight the dragon, then he will be going against his own beliefs, which in his mind is evil. I just thought it was a very interesting situation, or should I say an interesting quote, because it does make one think, how do you define evil? What is right? What is wrong? I'm going to say it, the Sixth Minister is wrong. Alright, so those are the 9 clips that I wanted to show and discuss with you that happened in this episode. I hope you all enjoyed this little discussion and hope you are more informed of what was missed out from the second episode and what we did not get to see. In any case, thank you for watching. Please leave a like if you can, and I'll see you in the next video.